Medium man, physical medium man, physical medium man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Medium Man back here again for another Physical Medium Man Monday video. I have a weekend's worth of pickups, one day really. A friend of the show, Cody, and I went to Franklin, Ohio, which is right in between Cincinnati and Dayton. We ended up going to Dayton as well. A couple Facebook Marketplace deals, the toy department in Cincinnati, and a second in Charles and Dayton, which was a huge bust. But yeah, we went to Franklin, Ohio to go see Kuarantine, the band, which is a Kiss kind of tribute band, but they also came out with their own versions of songs and stuff. Good Girl Gone Bad was number something on one of those lists, but yeah, Chris Jericho is the lead singer. So we did a meet and greet. We got to go to the sound rehearsal. It was a pretty neat time, pretty fun time. If I remember, I'll try to show some pictures and video at the end of this video. But yeah, really successful weekend. And I might include some of this stuff in the July monthly pickups video as well. But anyways, before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Medium Man Store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Medium Man / Physical Medium Man Store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my X or Twitter, and my website. So yeah, lots of good stuff here. I might try to go somewhat in order. First up on the way, we met someone that I had a Facebook Marketplace deal set up for some wrestling DVDs. I think I did pretty well on this. Let's see. I got $29 DVDs for $75, so $2 and change each. A couple of these I'm going to try to get rid of. Most of these I'm going to keep. The ones, at least one of them I'm going to get rid of, I think is worth a decent amount. So we'll hopefully get some money back. But I had messaged this person before and it didn't end up working out. But this time it did, and she was nice enough. She drove like 20 minutes, I think, maybe for her, because there's an exit right off of our way that was a great place to meet. So first up, we got SummerSlam, Hogan versus Michaels, and I looked at least one of these. Most of the discs are in pretty good shape, so Hogan and Michaels. Also has Cena versus Jericho for the WWE Championship. Batista versus JBL, Matt Hardy versus Edge, Undertaker versus Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero for custody of Dominic, Orlando Johnson versus Chris Benoit, and Eugene versus Kurt Angle. So great pay-per-view there. Really happy to add that one to the collection. Next up, we got Brock versus Rock, another SummerSlam. This is 2002. So yeah, a lot of wrestling stuff here in this video. So yeah, you got Rock versus Lesnar, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, Undertaker versus Test, Benoit versus RVD, Lance Storm and Christian versus Booker T and Goldust, Edge versus Eddie Guerrero, Ric Flair versus Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. So yeah. Here we got Wanted, No Way Out. Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. Angle versus Cena versus Big Show. Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero. Nydia versus Jamie Noble. Noble must wrestle the match blindfolded. Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty versus Basham Brothers and Shaniqua. Hardcore Holly versus Rhino. APA versus the World's Greatest Tag Team. Ultimo Dragon, Paul London and Billy Kidman versus Tajiri, Akio, and Sakota. I don't know. I try to get most of like the older stuff. Here we got the Great American Bash. Eddie Guerrero versus JBL. Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero. Undertaker versus the Dudley Boys. John Cena versus Booker T versus RVD versus Rene Dupree. Billy Gunn versus Kenzo Suzuki. Hardcore Holly versus Mordecai. Yeah. And it looks like this one was from 2004. And I got all the TNA stuff that she had. So we got TNA Bound for Glory. I never really watched TNA, but this is from 2006. I'm looking forward to checking some of these out. So Kurt Angle, Special Enforcer is Kurt Angle, and the match is Jeff Jarrett versus Sting. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniel versus LAX. Rhino versus Christian Cage. Shinshi versus Chris Sabin. Eric Young versus Larry Zbyszko. Special referee Jake the Snake Roberts. Abyss versus Samoa Joe versus Runt versus Raven. Team 3D versus America's Most Wanted versus the James Gang versus the Naturals. So pretty cool in there. Here we got the Best of the Bloodiest Brawls, Volume 1. We got Against All Odds. Looks like you got Jeff Jarrett and Kevin Nash on the cover. Yeah, so heavyweight title match, Jeff Jarrett versus Kevin Nash. Iron Man X Division title match, Phenomenal AJ Styles versus the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. America's Most Wanted versus Kid Cash and Lance Hoyt. Jeff Hardy versus Abyss. Dustin Rhodes versus Raven. So yeah, another good looking one. Next up we got Top 50 Greatest Moments. So maybe that'll be a good starting spot for me. Here we got Final Resolution. I think I almost recently bought this one for $5 at a half price book, so glad I didn't. We got Sting and Kristen Cage versus Jeff Jarrett and Monty Brown. We got Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. America's Most Wanted versus Team 3D. AJ Styles versus Tanasha. Rhino versus Abyss. Raven versus Sean Waltman. X-Pac. James Gang versus Diamonds in the Rough. R-Truth versus Bobby Roode. So, pretty fun there. We got TNA Lockdown with Sting and Mick Foley, Cactus Jack on the cover. So, Heavyweight Championship, Mick Foley versus Sting. Team Angle, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Booker T, and Scott Steiner versus Team Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Daniels. Team 3D versus Beer Money. Suicide versus Jay Lethal. So yeah, another one, and I don't know what year this is, but anyways, got some more Sting on the cover and 6 Sides of Steel Lockdown. Christian Cage versus Abyss for the title. A Lethal Lockdown match, Sting, the Phenomenal AJ Styles, Rhino, R-Truth, Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and America's Most Wanted. Samoa Joe versus Sabu, Team 3D versus Team Canada, and some others. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to watching some of these TNA ones since I never did. TNA Bound for Glory 2007. Kurt Angle versus Sting. Team Pac-Man versus AJ Styles and Tomko. Jay Lethal versus Christopher Daniels. Abyss versus Raven versus Rhino versus Black Rain. Samoa Joe versus Kristen Cage. So, Bound for Glory 4. Sting on the cover. Doesn't have matches listed on that one. We got Destination X, a 3-hour mega TNA wrestling event. And this is 2 discs that are stacked. You got Jeff Jarrett versus DDP. Sick. AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus R-Truth versus Alex Skipper. Kevin Nash versus Kip James, who's Billy Gunn. Jeff Hardy versus Abyss. Dustin Rhodes versus Raven. That one seems... all these seem really good, so... TNA Genesis. Kurt Angle and Kevin Nash versus Sting and Booker T. Jay Lethal versus Sanjay Dutt. AJ Styles and Tomko versus the Steiner Bros. So yeah. Alright. And then here, I'll keep going with the TNA. But it looks like we got... oh, that's just one more. And initially I was just going to get all the TNA stuff, and then they dropped the price. But anyways, they didn't include this one, so I made sure I got it when I was asking about the TNA stuff, and it was in the picture. So we got Kurt Angle Champion. It's a 2-disc set just of Kurt Angle stuff. So looking forward to checking that out too. All right, back to the WWE. We got The Rock versus Goldberg at Backlash. Also has a championship match, Lesnar versus Cena. A 6-team tag match, Nash, Shawn Michaels and Booker T versus Triple H, Jericho, and Flair. You got Team Angle versus Los Guerreros. RVD and Kane versus the Dudley Boys. Trish Stratus versus Jazz. Rikishi versus Sean O'Haire with Roddy Piper. And Rey Mysterio versus Big Show. Alright, we got No Way Out. You got Rock versus Hogan 2, Stone Cold versus Eric Bischoff, Triple H versus Scott Steiner 2. Almost doesn't feel like there's anything in here. Alright. This I already had, I think, so this will be for sale. If you're interested, let me know. But it's worth a little bit. So we got the DX DVD. This one I don't think I had. Got Survivor Series. This is right around Invasion, if I'm not mistaken. So you got Goldberg versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. You got Undertaker versus Mr. McMahon. Shane McMahon versus Kane. Classic Survivor Series match. Stone Cold team versus Eric Bischoff's team. So on Stone Cold, you got Shawn Michaels, Booker T, RVD, and the Dudleys. And Bischoff's is Jericho, Christian, Scott Steiner, Mark Henry, and Randy Orton. There's also a classic Survivor Series match, Team Angle versus Team Lesnar, Molly Holly versus Lita, Tajiri versus Jamie Noble, Basham Brothers versus Eddie and Chavo Guerrero. So really good pay-per-view there. This is one that I did already have, so I'll be trying to get rid of this. Yeah, I was really happy when I picked that up the first time. We got WWE Presents Unforgiven. We got Undertaker on the cover. WWE Championship match, John Cena versus Randy Orton. This has Undertaker versus Mark Henry. Yeah. Royal Rumble with Triple H on the cover. I'm not going to go into details much on these. This one I don't think I really meant to ask for, but Survivor Series 2008. Cena versus Jericho. Undertaker versus Big Show. This one I definitely did ask for. Another older Survivor Series. Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. You got Cena versus Angle for the championship. Ric Flair and Triple H in the last man standing match. Benoit versus Booker T match. One of the best of 7 series. Yeah. And then I got this one because I have some of the other, like the ECW one night stands, and I think this counts as a one night stand pay-per-view, and I think there's only really 4 of them, so I went ahead and grabbed this one. Obviously not as excited about the real, like, 2 legit ECW one night stand pay-per-views, but this has Jeff Hardy versus Umaga, Big Show versus CM Punk versus Tommy Dreamer versus John Morrison versus Chavo Guerrero. John Cena versus JBL. Melina versus Beth Phoenix. Shawn Michaels versus Batista. Triple H versus Randy Orton. And Undertaker versus Edge. We got 3 more left here. We got Survivor Series. Elimination match. DX, CM Punk, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Rated RKO, Johnny Nitro, Mike Knox, and Gregory Helms. And then another elimination match. Cena, Kane, Lashley, Sabu, RVD, Big Show, Test, MVP, Finlay, and Umaga. I don't know if I really asked for that one either, but I definitely asked for this one. We got Elimination Chamber, Survivor Series, Triple H versus Jericho versus Kane versus Booker T versus RVD versus Shawn Michaels is the main. They're all on the cover there, but and then lastly Survivor Series. I don't know if I asked for this one either. 2011. Cena and The Rock versus Miz and R-Truth, Del Rio versus CM Punk, and Mark Henry versus Big Show. So yeah, looking forward to checking out some of those. Next up, we went to the toy department, I believe. Last time I was at the toy department, I didn't get anything, and I really wanted to get a. They had a Ricky Steamboat little Hasbro figure that was $20, I think. He's kind of become one of my favorites from watching the documentaries and stuff. I passed on it. I didn't get anything, and I kind of regretted not getting anything. So this time I definitely wanted to grab something. So first up, he's fallen down here, so I need to open this up and fix that. But I always thought these were pretty neat. And I got one of my favorite baseball players growing up. There we go. We got the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas. It's one of these cool ones where he's like over the stadium that he played in, so Comiskey Park. But yeah, Frank Thomas, $5. Thought that was a good deal. And then we're getting ready to leave. I spotted something else in a case. Oh, and I got this too, not ordered, but $2 for a pack of Last Action Hero cards with Arnie. And then when we were getting ready to leave, I spotted this, and it looked like it had a sticker for $5. Did not really have a good NFL career, but I'm a big Notre Dame fan, and we got Brady Quinn, like the, what's his name? McFarlane figures, Todd McFarlane figures of Brady Quinn when he was on the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it would be cooler if he was in a Notre Dame uniform, but still happy to grab that nonetheless. Okay. All right. And then before the show, we went to Dayton. Went to Second and Charles. Awful experience. Most highly priced items I think I've ever seen, at least movie-wise. It was ridiculous. I don't know how anybody ever gets anything there. They don't have those around here, so Dayton's probably the closest one. I didn't even realize they had one, but friend of the show, Cody, saw that they did. Got no movies because every movie they had was $7 or more. They had just a standard Dazed and Confused release for $10 used, if that tells you anything on the prices. But right when we walked in, they had some old postcards for $1 each. And I got these Notre Dame ones mostly, but here we got On the Banks of the Beautiful Wabash in Terre Haute, Indiana. And this one actually has been written on. But next up, we got some Notre Dame ones. So we got the Golden Dome and church in the background, the Basilica of the Sacred Heart. Here we got the church and the Golden Dome from a different vantage point. Kind of same thing here at night. Thought this one was really cool. And these ended up being buy one, get one free. Here we got Seen on the St. Joe River, South Bend, Indiana. And then lastly, we got Swimming Pool in Muncie, Indiana. I was hoping to have some from my hometown because there are some. I have a safe search on eBay, but I usually don't I haven't bought any because they're a little bit more than I want to pay, so I've just waited. So yeah, but still really cool to grab those. And then next up, we had another Facebook Marketplace deal that Cody kind of put together, and I let him go first, and then I got 3 figures here for $10. He was basically just trying to get rid of stuff. I'm gonna open these up. Cody said, I think Brian Myers on his videos says he's gonna let the figures breathe. So I'm gonna open these up because these boxes are really nasty. So first up, we got Shane O'Mac. Does kind of look like Vince here. Oh, neat. I didn't even notice this. I probably would have got all the other ones. I kind of forgot about these things. It comes with a little stand to stand them up on. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. All right, so first up there we got Shane O'Mac. Yeah, so these are basically like $3.33 each. Next up we got Big Show, the Giant at this time. He kind of does a little. That's pretty cool. And lastly, which I don't know if, not so sure he's going to stand up. Lastly, we got Ric Flair, which Cody already had. Really happy to add this Flair to the collection, especially at the prices. Cody got a Macho Man, Randy Savage, Scott Steiner, I think, a Sting, Mankind. Almost, wow, that's how dirty it is. It needs to be cleaned after even taking it out of the box. He does some action here too. But yeah, pretty neat. We got a Ric Flair. Yeah, he is dirty. All right. So yeah, so now it's time for the show. I got 2 things signed up here. Well, really 4. First thing, which I kind of wish he wouldn't have done, but if you can see, he put to Joe on there, and I already had Kurt Angle, Rikishi, Mark Henry. I kind of didn't want my name on this, but it almost looks like J-O-R, not J-O-E. But anyways, there's Chris Jericho's autograph, and I wish he wouldn't have done it in black. He did put Y2J, which was awesome. But this is from my very first WWE show that I've talked about before. So I'm trying to add a couple more people to this, and I'll probably eventually maybe try to get it framed and stuff. But he thought it was really neat, and it was a fun experience showing it to him and everything. So there was that. And then we also got, part of it was we got a free signed 8x10 of the band. So there they are, all signed up. Really cool, especially since they all did different colors, which I really like. And then for $25, which I don't know if I would do again, but I bought this before the show. It has a set list, and they all signed it, which I thought was pretty neat. I got that there, and then I got a Kuarantine VIP little lanyard, and then I got him to sign my Big Eagle belt. So there's his autograph, and he put Ocho on it, and it looks like it's in green. It did kind of smear a little bit there, unfortunately. But yeah, really happy with how everything turned out. We had it was a really long day, but a lot of fun. So thanks again, Cody, for going with and going to all the stores and everything. It was a blast. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. I'll definitely, if I put, I might not put the wrestling. Actually, I might not include any of this in the July pickups. But if I do, I might just glance over some of the wrestling DVDs or something. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical media man. Physical media man. Physical media man. Yeah!